Hey guys, I wanted to make a really quick video for you leaders out there who may find yourself in a very difficult position, not being liked. Woohoo! Hey, what's going on? Hey, I want to talk to our leaders out there who are struggling because they have people that they're leading, managing day to day that maybe don't like them very much as individuals. This can be difficult. I remember when I was an employee having several people that I worked for that I just didn't particularly care for. Couldn't actually quite put my finger on why. It just was a thing. It was a vibe. Didn't mean that I didn't necessarily want to show up and do the work because they weren't necessarily horrible leaders. But as individuals, they just didn't tickle my fancy. They weren't people that I wanted to go have a beer with, or they weren't necessarily someone that I particularly cared what they did on the weekends. And there's a variety of reasons why that could be. We all have our own weird filters in which we view other people. And that's a thing that we should probably be conscientious of, right? Are we accurate? Are we giving that other person a chance? But as a leader, the biggest fallacy is that in order to lead, you have to be liked. And in order to be liked, you'll become an effective leader. The key factor here, I think, as a leader, when you know that you have people you're just not connecting on a one-on-one personal basis, it can become frustrating because it can feel like you're extending this effort and you're just not getting anything in return, right? Don't take it personal. This is a critical thing for you to know. You don't want to let your ego get in control at this point, because what will happen is inevitably you'll start judging, subconsciously judging that other person because you have resentment. You've heard this in videos before, but I believe resentment is the super secret promise of revenge. And you may not know it at the time. You may not even proactively look for ways to sort of undermine or discredit or hold someone back, but you might because your ego wants you to. You're like, yes, we need to put that person in their place. Why would they not like me? Why would they not appreciate and understand how awesome I am? Well, they just haven't, and that's okay. As a leader, your goal and your job is to make sure that you are clear about the mission. You are giving your team everything that they need in order to be successful, and that you're there to support them, their growth, their development, and to be the best cheerleader you can for them, even if you know that they may roll their eyes, may not love what you're saying or what you're doing, but what you're really striving for is their respect. Because at the end of the day, much like these managers that I worked for in the past, I may not want to have gotten to know them as individuals or become friends with them, but I would show up every day and do my job because they were doing a good job leading us forward as an organization, being clear about what our expectations were, helping provide me with all of the available opportunities to be successful as an individual contributor. They were leading. Now, there will be some people out there and be like, but Steve, it just feels better when your people like you. Yes, of course it does. And I would never discourage you from continuing to make those investments and make the effort to get people to recognize you beyond the role, your responsibility, the title, but some people just won't. Some people have an arm's length distance to their work relationships, especially when it's in a supervisory capacity. Some supervisors have that as well. But you've got to make sure that your ego as a leader is not helping you make decisions or keeping score, because the worst thing that you could ever do is be that guy or gal leading a team where people saw what you did to the last employee, saw the resentment that got built up, saw the challenge that you had a hand in creating and how that starts to permeate the culture. I know as a connector, right, being a rippler, our goal is to try and get people to be curious and want to know more about us because we're out there doing the same for them. But not everybody is going to respond to you. And in a work environment where you're seeing these people every single day, 8+ hours a day, 5 days a week or more, that can be hard, but it's not impossible. Be an effective leader. Be there to support them. Guide them and direct them where you can. And when you get an opportunity to show a little bit of personality and make a little investment in the relationship, keep doing it. you just never know. They may not like you today. They may not like you tomorrow, but somewhere down the road, they may look back at the time that they worked for you, and they may look at that time fondly because of what they learned, what you taught them, and the space that you gave them to be who they were in that moment in time. Something to think about as you go forward and try to become a more effective leader. It's all about creating those ripples out there. And along the lines with our teams, sometimes it feels like we give. We may not get it in return, but believe me, everybody remembers the good leaders and the bad leaders. But which one do you want to be? Until next time, my friends, go out there, make a difference in the world, make a difference in someone's life. And as always, you'll end up making a difference in your own life and ripple on.